So it's all good to blame the system and live in denial. The most important question is what should be done to resolve this crisis now that it's upon us? Whatever the government does now, it will only amount to damage control, and yet the government must do something. On Wion Edit, we'll discuss the solutions, the possible solutions, and let us start by saying that blaming the previous government is not a solution. For 11 years, the fraud has gone unnoticed by the regulator, the RBI and the governments, both the UPA government and the NDA government. Trying to score political points out of it is only going to increase public anger. It would also amount to apathy, because it's not the politicians who've lost their personal savings, it's the people. So the blame game is not the way forward. For no fault of theirs, the depositors of PMC Bank are bearing the brunt. Step one is to help the 16 lakh depositors. The central government, the state government and the RBI must all ensure that these depositors get their money back at the earliest. I cannot say this enough. This is not public service. All these three parties are involved in this mess. It's a mess of their creation. The state regulator of Maharashtra, the central government and the banking regulator, that's RBI. Step number two. Check other top cooperative banks. Remember, PMC Bank is one of the top 10 cooperative banks in this country. If this bank, PMC, could be held hostage by bad loans to one corporate house, what can one say of the others? It's important to know the scale of the problem to address it. The worry is such bad practices could be the norm. Step 3. Force the Reserve Bank to ensure that projects are checked thoroughly before giving out loans. This is a double-edged sword, remember. Already, economic growth is slowing down. Lending is essential to revive the economy, but indiscriminate lending, once again, will place India's banking sector in deep, deep trouble. The government should chart out ways to solve the dilemma instead of passing the buck. Step number 4, punish the bankers of PMC and the auditors as well. Make an example out of them. It is inconceivable that this scam continued without the full backing of the auditors. This is fraud, and banking frauds affect everyone. Set a precedent that deters fraud. And finally, step number 5. It's time to make the insolvency and bankruptcy proceedings more efficient. Make them faster. That's the only way to get money back from corporates. So what's the lesson for citizens, people like you and me? Diversify savings, deposit in different banks, try different asset classes, invest in gold, invest in real estate. The way the bad loan crisis is going right now, it's better to be safe than sorry. For the government, ensure better transparency in the banking sector. That is the only solution. Swift resolution is the need of the hour. At some stage, the government has to merge or liquidate this bank. How will it do it? What is the structure? What is the timeline? That should be the priority. Start with reassuring people. This is a crisis of credibility and a crisis of confidence.